Good morning, children. 8th standard science class. Topic heat. Answers for your assignment. Observe it carefully. Note it down in your notebook with the correct option. We know well that heat is a form of energy and effects of heat in change of state of matter. Today we are going to learn about transfer of heat by conduction, convection and radiation. If heat energy is supplied to any substance, it will be transferred from one part of the substance to another part. It takes place in different ways depending on the state of the substance. Three ways of heat transfer are conduction, convection and radiation. First one, conduction. This mode of heat transfer takes place mostly in solids because the atoms and molecules arranged in solids are closely packed. So, they can easily move from a region of higher temperature to a lower temperature by vibrations of atoms only, without actual movement of atoms or molecules. Here, by vibration of the atoms only. This can be explained with a small activity. Take a cup of hot water and put a silver spoon inside it. Leave the spoon inside the water for some time. Now, touch the other end of the spoon. Do you feel heat? How did the other end of the spoon become hot? It is because the heat in the hot water is transferred from one end to another end of the spoon by vibration of the water molecules, which are again transfer the heat energy to the atoms in the spoon and make them to vibrate. Those atoms make other atoms to vibrate and thus heat is transferred to other end of the spoon. So, in conduction, heat transfer takes place between two ends of a same solid or through two solid substances, but they are in contact with each other. Now we will see some examples of conduction in daily life. You know, all metals are good conductors of heat. The substances which do not conduct heat easily are called bad conductors or insulators. For example, wood, cork, cotton, wool, glass, rubber, etc. They are all insulators. When we cook food in vessels made of metals, when the vessel is heated, heat transferred from the metal to food easily. Another example, when we iron dresses, heat is transferred from the iron box to the cloth. You know, some insulators also used to avoid the transfer of heat. For example, handles of cooking utensils are made of plastic because they are poor conductors of heat. That's why we can easily handle them while cooking. Another one example, the temperature inside igloo, that snow houses is warm because snow is a poor conductor of heat. The next process in transfer of heat is convection. Here the heat is transferred in liquids and gases where the particles are loosely packed than the solids. So, the heat from a region of higher temperature easily transferred to a region of lower temperature by the actual movement of the molecules. Here the molecules are moving and transfer the heat from one place to another place. Take some water in a vessel and heat it on a stove. Touch the surface of the water. It will be cold. Touch it after some time. It will be hot now. How did the heat which was supplied at the bottom reach the top? When water in the vessel is heated, water molecules at the bottom receives heat energy and move upwards. Then the molecules at the top comes down and hit heated. This kind of heat transfer continues till the water get heated up. Formation of land breeze and sea breeze is due to convection of air. Wind flows from one region to another region by convection of air. Hot air balloons or rises due to convection of heat. The heat is transferred by convection and the balloons rises up. In refrigerators, cool air moves downwards and replaces the hot air because of convection. The next process of transfer of heat is radiation. By conduction, heat is transferred through solids. By convection, heat is transferred through liquids and gases. But by radiation, heat can be transferred through empty space, even through vacuum. The transfer of heat is in the form of electromagnetic waves. Heat energy from the sun reaches the earth by this form of heat transfer, that is radiation. While standing near fire, we feel the heat which is transferred as radiation. Black color absorbs heat radiation. Nowadays, the heating vessels are painted black due to this. It is advised to wear white cloths during summer because white color reflects heat radiation. Now you can watch this video which explains the transfer of heat.
The heat of the fire and cooking on the skillet are all examples of heat transfer. In simple terms, heat is the transfer of energy from objects of different temperatures. As objects warm up or cool down, their kinetic energy changes. Kinetic energy is the energy of motion. Temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of the particles in an object. As temperature increases, the energy of motion increases. As the water warms up and the temperature increases, you can see an increase in the movement. Heat can be transferred in at least three ways: conduction, convection, and radiation. Conduction is a process in which the transfer of heat takes place between objects by direct contact. It is most often associated with solids. The key to conduction is direct contact. The heat of the pan is transferred to the mini pizzas. The energy of the frying pan is transferred to the eggs. Notice that they are in direct contact. Convection is heat transferred by the movement of a fluid such as air or water when the heated fluid is caused to move away from the source of heat, carrying the energy with it. It occurs due to density. Lava lamps are examples of convection. As the liquid is heated, it rises and falls as it heats and cools. As the paper burns, the air is heated up and begins to rise. The burning paper is swept up in the convection current, cools, and falls back down. These beans are another example of convection. As the beans warm up, they rise and then cool and fall back down, and repeat this over and over again. Radiation heat is transmitted without any physical contact between objects. Watch how the temperature of the lamp is transferred to the thermometer without touching it. These alligators and lizards use radiation from the sun to warm their bodies.
So we understood the three ways of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. Thanks for watching. Now you can try to find the answers for the assignment.